Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Live Show. It is a very late Sunday night edition, but of course, we are here to talk about the season finale of House of the Dragon. But before we can get into any of that, it's me, the Nerd Chicano, here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host Brad, who is currently in hell.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful Sunday episode of the Nerd Cores, and it's my nap time.
It's nap time, more like sleep time, Brad.
More like bedtime. It's my
Oh.
bedtime.
Sorry, Brad, but yeah, I gotta. I watched this with my cousins, and we were at their house, who live like other side of Houston, so we had to finish up, and then we had to come over here. And the good thing is that we'll be doing an episode. We're here to talk about it. I don't see any dragons. Yeah, I'm sorry, no dragons right now. Sorry.
Dragging these nuts across the screen.
Oh
Hey.
my god. But yes, y'all, we are here for the season finale. But Brad, how are you doing, bro?
Doing well. No complaints.
No
At the moment,
complaints?
no complaints.
Yeah. What you been up to?
Went into town, needed to get some more bungee cords, and ended up spending a lot more money than I had planned. Welcome to my life.
Yeah. Is it because you wanted to spend that money, or was Brenda?
It's kind of because it's a necessary. Eventually, I do need to redo the guest bathroom upstairs that I have, and they had like this stuff. You go in the clearance aisle, and it's just game on. And they had like these faucets that were on sale, and I'm just like, Brenda's like, "Can we get them?" I'm like, "Fine." Like, because eventually they're going to be necessary when we figure out what the hell we want to do with it. So, might as well get them at a good price while I can.
Yeah. I demand you acknowledge me. It's freaking 11 p.m. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We literally read.
It
We
literally said
read what you wrote, Kylie.
Yeah, come on, Kylie.
Hello, Kylie. Welcome to a wonderful Sunday edition of the
Oh,
Nerd Cores
hello.
Live Show. Thank you for
My
joining us in
madam,
chat today,
Kylie.
Kylie.
I'm so sorry,
And Raul,
Kylie.
where can they find Kylie?
Kylie PLI and Kylie P Sports 90.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry.
I think
Our
Kylie checked to make sure
humble
this
one to
isn't
Kylie.
recorded.
It's not pre-recorded, Kylie. We're here. If it was pre-recorded, then we watched another fucking episode or something. Did we watch?
You never know. Apparently, it did drop early in some locations.
No, Brad.
It got leaked.
It
was leaked. Like, who the fuck does that?
I wonder if it was like episode, the second to last episode of Game of Thrones season 8, where HBO, I think it was HBO Spain, fucking put it on air accidentally in the wrong one, in the wrong time, and that's why it leaked. Yeah, there was that episode.
Like I'm glad I didn't get spoiled by anything. I did catch a little bit, like one tweet of something, but it wasn't a big deal. It was more confusing than anything. And when we get into it, I'll talk about it. But
Yeah,
it was more confusing, the tweet anyway, than where I was like, I don't fucking care.
we recorded again. I bet they read the book. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
If you read the book, this whole show is probably ruined for you.
Yeah.
But
Read the
actually, probably not, because apparently the book is from a maester's point of view who doesn't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
this whole episode has that one moment there at the end where you're like, they probably didn't put that in the book how it happened.
Yeah. Well, let's not beat around the bush anymore. I think we are ready to go into this discussion, because we definitely want to talk about this, because I mean, this was a freaking monumental finale.
Ooh.
And like I said, like, the wait is starting. So if you have not watched this week's episode or any of the episodes in this season, because this is the season finale review for what's it called, House of the Dragon season 1. So what's it called? Get out of here if you care about spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, stay. Or if you've already seen the episode, stay. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The banner is up. Not like on Friday where I forgot to put the banner up, but it's up now. So let's call it
Welcome,
spoilers.
Stacy.
Past this point. And at least with all their mid-air battles, at least the finale was sponsored by Delta Airlines.
I mean, at least it was sponsored by Delta Airlines and not Spirit Airlines, or we'd have a totally different show.
Can I say that the Giants are 6-1? I'm pro the balls.
The balls.
Yep. Good time for the for Giants, and I believe the Astros are winning at the moment. So yeah, great day today for me. But Brad,
But
it has. Oh no, the Astros are not winning. Fuck this. The bottom of the sixth. It's 4-5. But Brad, this was a crazy. Well, not crazy, but like, oh man, what a finale.
whew, it was good. This was good.
It's fucking good, man.
This was good. This is my only issue with this is I have to wait 2 years now.
Yeah.
Remember when it was nice when we didn't get until like the 7th season? And it's like, oh, I got all of this to watch until the final season. And now it's like, I'm going to be Viserys Crypt Keeper by the time the series ends. I'd be like 45 and be like, it's finally, I finally knows what happened to Rhaenyra. Unless I read the book. But even then,
Yeah.
he hasn't finished the last book. So you don't know anyway.
He hasn't even like. There's supposed to be a second book to this one, to
Yeah.
Fire and Blood. He
Yeah.
hasn't
So
fucking
he hasn't
finished
finished
that.
shit.
So
We
I
will
don't know,
never
man.
know.
But man, so we are like last week's episode. Last week was an episode that concentrated fully on the greens, and now we
Mhm.
have an episode that fully concentrates on the blacks.
Yep.
And what's it called? We literally pick up where Rhaenys goes to Rhaenyra, tells her about what.
Let's face it. Let's put it out there. Rhaenys is the hero in this whole show.
Yeah, yeah, because what's it called? Nobody else was gonna tell her, bro. Like I was
No.
convinced that nobody else was gonna tell her. Rhaenys
She didn't even
was
know her dad was dead until Rhaenys was there.
Yeah. But I love that Damon was pissed, bro. Damon was pissed. And like,
Well, he thought the Greens killed his brother. That's
yeah,
exactly what he thought.
yeah. So we it just everything was laid out here today. Today this episode was Succession was questioned. Um Fucking the first blood was drawn of the war. And I mean, holy shit, Brad. I mean, there's just so
Before
much
we get
can
into that,
start
we
with,
should
Brad.
start off with the tension that was created in this show, because you have Rhaenyra who gives a stillborn pregnancy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she's going through this while all this is happening. Damon's going out on his own. He's getting ready to fucking just, go to war. Like the man is ready. The man's been sitting in this castle for a while now, like with no bloodshed. He's ready. And then he's told to stand down, basically, which in a
He doesn't
way
like that.
he doesn't like that.
No.
But we get into more, and Rhaenyra, she thinks, Damon knows about the song of Ice and Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
She thinks he knows, and then she realized he was never told. And I don't think it would have mattered anyway, because Damon's not really one. And like he said, he's like, those fucking omens and stories and shit. Fuck that shit. We know how this was won. It was by dragons. And I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong.
But you could tell that what's it called? That it got to him though. Like he was done at that point.
Like he put hands on her. He choked
put
her.
hands on her, and it's like, holy shit, man! Like you got like Damon is like part. Damon is a big part of the reason why fucking House Targaryen. Why House Targaryen is like the way. Like I see the character of Damon, and I'm like, that's kind of what everything was told to Dany. There was like, don't become this, don't become that, because like this is what your ancestors were, and they let this shit get to them like that. And it's like that's why it was great that Dany always had people beside her like Jorah, like Tyrion, who were able to
someone with level heads.
Yeah, because I get why Damon is mad.
Well, and in the beginning, we have Rhaenyra, who is the level-headed one in all this. She doesn't just go right off and just start a war. Like she tries to keep like her dad's ideals and that. And it's kind of what pisses Damon off, because Damon's just like they've just spit all over what you're supposed to have.
Yeah. And I was just but goddamn was fucking Matt Smith on one this episode, Brad. I mean, when fucking Otto gets there and he tells him like, what's it called? Y'all need to what's it called? Forget about you being queen and stuff. And what does Matt tell him? Like, what's it called? David says,
He'd rather feed his sons to his fucking dragons
Yeah.
than
He
bend
said
the knee for that cunt of a king.
no, and even before that, Brad, he says we can send the what's it called? The queen, her father, with his cock in his mouth.
Damon was on one. Damon was ready. Damon
Yeah.
was not playing around. He was done with that shit.
It's dumb, bro. And it's like I also look, man. I get wanting to go that way too about keeping everything. Let's keep everything level headed right now. Let's not jump to conclusions right now. Let's just go and find out who our allies are. Let's what's it called? Let's
Yeah.
what's it called? Establish relationships with our allies. But also, what's it called? Rhaenyra has the same thing that Danny did. Like sometimes Danny, what's it called? Danny expected the best from everyone sometimes, and that kind of bit Danny in the ass sometimes. And
Yeah.
here is Rhaenyra. Like I think she probably thought that they weren't smarter than her and they weren't gonna get to them before her. And it's like
Well, and then
the
Otto. Well,
Greens,
Otto's
yeah,
smart. Otto's smart
not
though,
smart.
and he did exactly what we knew he was going to do. He's going to reach out and try to get as many allies on Aegon's side as he could.
So what? It's not, man. Fuck the Yankees. I know Queen Rhaenyra. You just lost your father, your newborn child, but the royal goldfish isn't looking well either. That's the
I
thing,
mean,
Brad. You put that into perspective. We put that into, and like I think that's what was so important about what they were talking about in the director's thing at the end.
mhm.
Episode 9 and 10 are really like sister episodes.
Yeah.
Like
You have the
honestly,
greens, and then you have the blacks.
I would have loved if like if what's it called if HBO could like in the Blu-ray release or something for this, put like a super cut of episode 9 and 10 together. Cause like I would have loved to have just
And just
watched those two episodes.
run it
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But like if you really put it into perspective, 8, 9, and 10, she loses Viserys. Isn't even told about Viserys dying,
Yeah.
being dead. Loses her what's it called? Loses her child, her unborn child.
Which I believe is named Damon. I think
Yeah,
that was the
Damon.
baby Damon.
Yeah, loses baby Damon, and now she has to deal with the fact that she just lost her son.
And again, before we get to that, because that is a
Yeah.
monumental piece in all this. We got to go back. We got to go back and let's just see. So Damon's going after the next biggest dragon. That's where Damon is headed now, since he's not allowed to partake in this war. But back from the dead, what we thought was dead is Lord Corlys.
Yeah, so apparently I was wrong. That motherfucker wasn't dead. He was just really sick.
He's just really fucking sick, and he beat that shit. And but that tense moment between him and Rhaenys, where Rhaenys is like, "You just ran out on me," and then she basically stating what has happened to Rhaenyra in a way, because she's lost all this, and then Rhaenyra, and then Corlys doesn't want to even get into a fight. He doesn't want to pick sides, and Rhaenys is the one to say Rhaenyra is the only one like being calm in this situation somehow, some way. And I think that's what does it. That's what ends up, Lord Corlys backing Rhaenyra. And that's what she needs. She definitely needed that support.
Yeah. And honestly, I love that scene because like how different Corlys was acting in there. And then when he goes to actually talk to Rhaenyra, and it's like, look, man, what's it called? I get it. I understand why Corlys would want to just say like fuck this war.
Yeah,
Fuck all this bullshit.
He almost died too.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's just stay there. What's it called? Our succession will go on as it needs to be. But it's like
not really, because they're going to all have to die.
Yeah, they're gonna come
if
for
the
you.
Greens have it their way. But can we a little before that? I just want to say when Rhaenyra's coronation, all that, she gets her father's crown, all that. You have Rhaenys, and it's very well done, with the camera and the cuts and stuff. And you always see Rhaenys. Rhaenys never bows, never bends the knee, never does any of that until she and Corlys basically give their, pledge to Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
So it just puts Rhaenys at this whole nother level of just being this, she should have been queen, and they keep at that. She's just this strong persona that's just kind of, I guess, guiding Rhaenyra in a way.
And God, man, the that whole ceremony, the funeral for Damon, baby Damon.
Yeah.
Oh, beautifully shot, and just the way that they had the score in there, just like it was crazy, man. Like just how beautifully shot that was, and the way that they played that, and just
Oh,
how
and then Damon's giving the ultimatum to the two guardsmen of you can die quick, you can bend the knee, or you can say you're going to bend the knee, and then if you change your mind further on, I'll make you suffer. That
yeah,
that is true Damon, like just showing Damon's nature of being like very blunt and to the point of you're either going to do this or you're going to die in this
I'm gonna
way.
die. Yeah, let's keep it 100 here.
Yeah.
Do this or I'm gonna kill you. And
Yeah.
like, but I do agree with you, Brad. Rhaenys. If we could just talk about like favorite characters of this season and where we kind of started and where we're at now, like I know everybody was gonna be like, oh, Rhaenyra this, Rhaenyra that, how much, but like I
Yeah,
think
Rhaenyra's a
there
great
needs to be a
character.
but I think there needs to be a really big conversation as to just how great of a character Rhaenys is and just how big of an impact she has in this season.
Oh, agreed. Rhaenys, especially in the last two episodes now,
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenys has a major impact
Yeah.
because one, Rhaenyra would have never known and would have been surprised by the Greens without Rhaenys. Because Otto wouldn't, I guarantee you, Otto would have been showing up if they had
Mm-hmm.
been able to keep Rhaenys. They would have been showing up with warships and shit.
Now, even though she was, I would say that she was going about it the right way. Rhaenyra, Rhaenyra did mess up sending Jaehaerys by himself. Jaehaerys should not have gone by himself. He should have had somebody else with him, or like, hell, swallow your pride, send fucking what's it called, Damon with him.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, bro, from the moment that Jaehaerys got on that dragon, I was like, this boy ain't coming back alive.
I mean, there it was questioning on both sending both of them, and with the Starks, like I understood like sending, you know, him alone to the Starks because the Starks they're honorable people,
Honorable
which
people.
we've seen, so I didn't really have an issue with that. But the Baratheons, whole nother fucking level. We know the Baratheons. Come on.
May I remind you about Mr. Robert Baratheon, who led a
And
rebellion?
let's face it, the Baratheons, very misogynistic. They would have never bent the knee to Rhaenyra.
No. And that was a major mistake. And
Oh, we got a raid. Thank you, Clouds of Sand. Raided with 2 viewers.
Thank you, Clouds of Sand, for the raid.
Oh, we got a raid. Deciphered, 2 viewers. Thank you, Deciphered.
Thank you, guys. Deciphered. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome everybody. This is the Nerdcore. It's a channel. What's it called? The Twitch, and we're on YouTube as well. We're dedicated to talking about everything in nerd culture, like movies, TV, video games, professional wrestling, and a lot more stuff. Right now, we're talking about the season finale of House of the Dragon. So hope y'all are doing well. Welcome. We were
Nice.
okay. Cool. Awesome.
Cool. So we're not spoiling anything for you.
So we're not spoiling anything. That's great. Awesome. Thank you so much for the follow, Clouds of Sand. So Brett, and like we'll go back here, and I think that was a really bad mistake. And it obviously cost Rhaenyra hard because she just lost her son. But if we could talk about that moment, like this really shows how these kids do not understand these dragons one bit.
No,
because they're like, no,
and
fucking Vhagar, bro.
And we should have known the foreshadowing that came about when Viserys said you can't really control the dragons all the way. Like we should have known that this was going to be something that would start off a whole nother level. And I didn't even think about it when he said, I'm like, oh, that's just Viserys saying some Viserys shit.
Yeah. And bro, I missed that foreshadowing. Yeah. And obviously, what's it called? First of all, the fact that I forgot that Jaehaerys actually was learning High Valyrian, and he was actually like getting better at it. I forgot about that. But yeah, that Vhagar took that shit personally, bro. Vhagar took that shit real personal.
You had the issue. So you had the issue. You had is it Jaehaerys that was the one on the
smaller one? Yes.
Okay, so Jacaerys he couldn't control his dragon all the way. His dragon basically ball fire to the side of Vhagar, which didn't do anything except like tickle Vhagar and piss him off a little.
Yeah.
And you have, of course, Aemon not being able to control Vhagar. Vhagar is
Yeah.
the largest dragon like in existence at this point. He's had him for a while, but Vhagar does what Vhagar wants.
Yup. And honestly, we got that in the first time that I believe that Aemon, what's it called, flew the dragon. Remember?
Well, and you can see Aemon is doing his best to try to get Vhagar under control because he knows, Jacaerys didn't mean that. Like that wasn't him. That was him being unable to control his dragon. And it just like Vhagar was at that instant just Michael Jordan mode of fuck them kids. Like
Yeah. Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. But yeah, Vhagar took that shit real personally and said, I'm not gonna let you what's called just fuck around with me like that. But Brad, I've got to say, what an amazingly shot sequence, especially with the rain, because like Jacaerys gets there, right? And
Yeah.
he sees that there's a big ass dragon there, and it's like, okay, cool, fuck, Aemon's here, right?
Yeah.
He leaves, Aemon's not there anymore. That thing is like, but
just gone.
that that shot where he's like, where what's it called? The dragon is riding, right? Arix, and then on top you just see the shadow.
Yeah, the shadow
of Vhagar. Oh, what a great!
And it's kind of questioning. You're kind of questioning. You're like, okay, was that Vhagar or was that just them believing it? And then it's Vhagar.
Yeah.
But also
It
the
was.
sequence. What's great about this is they have Arix go down into the canyon, and it feels like they get away from Vhagar, and then he comes
really
back
smart.
up, and you get away from that storm. It's like peaceful, no clouds, sun right on him, and then boom, unexpected out of nowhere, Vhagar's just like just done.
and rightfully so, you could tell like the face on Aemon was like, I fucked up.
Yep.
I fucked up, but also like I didn't want to do that. I wanted
he wanted to scare him. Like, you know how like family members are. You want to scare your younger, family members sometimes. That's just the way it is. And in this instance.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he was like, yep, I did not want to do that. But then again, you go back to the fact that these kids are immature, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they're young, they're royal, they have no manners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, Aemon does have a grudge with Jacaerys because of his eye, which we get to see that he put like a big ass sapphire in the socket. So that was kind of a cool showing.
Yeah, it was absolutely wanted to scare him and mess with him, not get him thrown out of the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, but that was funny because like that really shows you what a different time it is, Brad. Because like in Game of Thrones, like in that part, in like that series, right? I don't think Lord Baratheon would have gave a shit. if what's it called? You just think about it, Brad. Cersei controlling everything she needs to control, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that whoever would have been sitting on that throne in Game of Thrones would not have given one single shit if Aemon took off Jacaerys' eye right there.
No.
But obviously, Lord Baratheon had other things. He did not want them to fight, which was funny because my cousin was just like, there will be no bloodshed in my hall. Take it outside. Take it outside.
Make them bleed outside. We don't need to watch that up, and I don't need to hear from either your grandfather or your mother. So get the fuck out.
But what an beautiful final sequence there and a final shot. Not on my rug. But what a fucking genius final shot where everybody's kind of there with Rhaenyra and she just turns around and you just know, Brad, it's on. Like
just her face. Yeah. Well, and it was, and you can tell because it's basically pretty quiet in that scene. I think they did have like some good music going on, but you see Daemon walking in and you're like, well, Daemon knows. We know Daemon knows. Yep. Somehow, some way, they don't really need to go into explanation. We just know Daemon knows. He goes, he grabs her hand and he tells her, and she's facing the fire. And when she turns around, boom, and you know, the fire behind her. Yeah, Queen of the Dragon's about to pop off.
Yeah, no more of this playing it patiently. No more of like trying to get my allies behind me. We're done. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't really explain that. They probably didn't think they needed to explain that. It's just they found out.
word eventually got to them, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, fucking Vagar fucked that fucking dragon up good. I mean, he just left
He
wings.
had a wing. One wing left. That was it.
One wing was left. That's all that was
But
left.
you
Bro.
just her face was perfect. And then when it ends and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to wait 2 years to see how this plays out. What the hell? I'm gonna be Crypt Keeper Viserys by the time the series ends.
Yeah, Brad. I was kind of saying when I
I'm
was
gonna be
like,
like I'm gonna be like in my mid 40s by the time this damn series ends. That's what's gonna happen.
so like for new people who are in the chat who are new, um, I myself I watched when season 6 ended. So I what's it called was here to watch. I was there to watch season 7 of Game of Thrones fully on its run. I what's it called Brad on the other hand was here when Brad when what's it called was it watched the show when season 7 completely ended. So
Yeah, and season 8 was about to start,
yeah,
if I remember correctly. It was like a month or two before season 8 started. And we were like, we'll review season 8. So I got to watch 1 through 7 and then jump right into 8 and the series ended.
so none of us have any full on experience having to wait for these episodes. So now I'm low key kind of like salty here. I'm like, fuck.
And it does no good to read the books either, because he hasn't finished the books. This man has finished no books of no series.
Yeah, and it's like, look, man, filming will be in March, right? So honestly, it'll probably be January or February before we get even January or February of 2024 before we even get a freaking trailer. You know, probably until not this next Comic Con, but the following Comic Con until we'll get anything of content about this.
Unless HBO want to put a lot more money into this and kind of hurry it the fuck up.
Yeah, I am right there with y'all. Now the Nerd Court completely gets to what's it called to experience
Sit here
this.
and wait and just think of that final scene and just be like,
Fuck, it
I just
sucks.
I need to see Damon just go on just a rampage. That's what I'm waiting for. They're about to let him go. Like, he hasn't really been let go and able to do what he wants. He's about to just go on complete massacre.
Thank you so much for the tip. I don't know if it showed up in here on chat, but thank you all for the $3 tip. Means a
thank
lot,
you.
y'all. Thank you guys.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that, y'all. Thank you all a lot. Yeah, I just got the notification on my email. I'm sorry. What's it called? I wasn't gonna. It didn't show here in the chat, but yeah, thank you for the tip. Yeah, but yeah, man, Brad. I mean, this is fantastic, Brad. This episode just. I mean, like this series has been great, Brad. I like I said, everybody was.
You can tell that they went out and they spent a lot more money on this than they did for the original Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the whole hunting party scene, and then you got like more dragons. Like, you can definitely tell they went out and they're like, it's a series about the Targaryens who all have dragons. We kind of have to have the dragons in there.
I still really like that tweet, Brad. That was like, "Damn, Robert was poor. He couldn't have shit."
Yeah, he went on a hunting party with just him and 2 of his bros living in a tent.
Yeah. They're also including a lot more magic than they did in the game. Yep. Yeah, and that's something that I appreciate too, because like I didn't know a lot about the whole magic shit, but I knew that there was a lot of magic involved in this universe. And I was always wondering why they never kind of involved that. Of course, we do have Melisandre and all that.
Wait. So why didn't they use magic on damn Viserys? They were like, we'll just put some, grubs on this shit and maybe his arm will regenerate. Meh. Yeah. The Maesters don't know what the fuck they're doing, never have.
What's it called? Because Brad, the milk of the poppy can only do so much.
It can only do so much. That's true.
Yeah. Good old opium.
But we literally got like 8 episodes where it's just Viserys slowly decaying.
Yeah. D&D said they didn't want to use as much magic in GOT. They didn't want it to be super high fantasy, which I don't get. Like you saw in this series specifically how in tune the audience was and how much they didn't really care about it being so nerdy, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this shit is way nerdier than Game of Thrones. Like, the fact that we saw a lot, like the fact that we got the fucking crab guy.
Oh, that's crazy. That was dope.
That was dope. Like,
that was dope. Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
glad.
I would have liked to seen like just well, I guess Damon just wiped the floor with the dude, but it was some cool episodes when he would just show up.
Yeah. So like I'm glad that they're doing that. I've loved this series. I will say that what's it called? I think that it was a great what's it called first season, and I can't wait to see where the season series goes. I love it just as much as I loved Game of Thrones season one. If we're putting these together, I like Game of Thrones season one and this one are pretty close to each other. I haven't rewatched Game of Thrones in a long time, so I wouldn't know what to say I like more. But I gotta say, when we were first approaching this, when everybody was like, I'm burnt out, I don't know if I'm gonna be into this, and everybody was like, really, like, is it gonna be good? And everybody kind of seemed like the whole word around town was like that, like the Game of Thrones love was gone because everybody was like, oh, I've never seen a show fall off so much from the zeitgeist so quick. And guess what? That big ass opening when they made the most what's it called watched
Yeah,
record
20
for
million,
HBO.
20
Yeah,
million, and then it increased to like 25 million on the second
yeah, like
episode. Yeah,
20.2 or something, yeah.
yeah,
And like
something ridiculous.
you could tell that, this shit never left, bro. Like our
Well,
interest was here.
I think a lot of people, and not including us, because we were all right with we realized season 8 of Game of Thrones was completely rushed. Like we know that it is what it is. They did what they did.
We're
We
also
kind of understood that.
yeah, we're also like I'm gonna be real honest, like this podcast isn't the type of podcast that takes shit like to heart, like where it's the
Yeah.
point like, oh my god, I'm gonna stop watching this show because it was terribly bad. Like
Only the Pinocchio movie
no,
on
only the
Disney,
Pinocchio movie.
not the
But like
cartoon,
we're
the new
not
one with Tom
ones
Hanks.
to puff our chest and be like, fuck you, George R. R. Martin, for messing this up. I'm never gonna watch anything else that you make. It's like, no, man. And like,
We're gonna be like, yeah,
yeah,
like I don't understand why they did some of the stuff they did, but I'm not the one running the show.
yeah.
It is what it is.
At the end of the day, it was new showrunners, new writers. And I'm glad that they got, I can't remember her name, but she was the one who wrote the last episode. She's going to be back in the next episode, the next season. She's going to have a bigger role. So I'm glad that we're keeping the team together and we're, what's it called? We're going to keep doing this because honestly, this season worked well. And I'm very excited to see where we go because the dance is 100% underway, bro. This fucking Civil War is popping the fuck off, bro. Yeah.
I
And
mean, I
I
think this
love
was just if this is 4 seasons, this is just a small taste of the carnage that's about to show up.
yeah, because I was reading somebody like from the team actually said like that they had to make this first season a little slower to make the what's gonna happen in season two more rewarding and to feel like it was earned. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there you go, thank you. Like that's
Uh,
what something like season
Can
7 and season 8 didn't understand.
I just gotta say we've been lucky in this like last part of this year with just shows
Oh
that have
yeah,
been above and beyond She-Hulk, Andor, Rings of Power, and now Game of
yeah.
Thrones. We're literally running out of stuff to talk about because all the shows are ending.
All the good shit. Just
Yeah.
yeah. But Brad, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here and we say goodbye to our new
Just I
friends and
love
hope?
this episode, and yeah, I guess I'm gonna be around 37, 38 when I
Yeah.
see season 2 of this.
Sorry, Brad. The podcast has to live until 2024, right,
I
Brad?
mean, I gotta survive.
Yeah. I am asking all the
Eat my
governments in
veggies.
the world, do not fight with each other. We have 2024 to look forward to.
Yeah, come on now. Like everybody get
Oh,
on the same page. We gotta live and we gotta come together to survive
and watch
to watch
this
the
next.
next episode, next season of Game of Thrones. We can bring peace for that.
Yep. Yep. Let's go. Joe Biden's gonna be like, I don't know if I'll be alive, but I'll make sure we all stay alive for 2024. Oh man. But
So somebody get Putin to watch this show.
oh, no,
It's got dragons. He's gotta like dragons, right?
oh man. But yeah, man, I'm glad that I was able to what's it called experience this without seeing the leaked copies and stuff, and I'm glad that they did well, man. What a great episode to end this first season, and what a great start to this series. I'm so excited for where we go, and apparently the hashtag dragons, y'all, is trending on Twitter. Oh man,
I
So,
just gotta say to all those on Twitter, y'all are fast with those memes. Like,
oh,
just right away, and I'm laughing my ass off.
all right. Well, my friends, what's it called? I'm gonna put the banner down. That means we are done talking about House of the Dragon spoilers. You know, you can still say you like the episode, but you can't bring any spoilers anymore. At least we can't discuss them. But what's it called? We thank you all so much for sticking by. To our new friends and old in here, Kylie, thank you so much for being in here. Stacy, our new friends, Clouds
Clouds
of
of Sand and
Sand,
Deciphered.
Decipher. Thank you all for following and thank you for chatting with us. It means a lot. We want to thank you all so much, especially for the person who tipped. I didn't give me your username, but whoever you are that tipped $3, thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow for our final review of Horror Month here on the Nerdcore. We'll be talking about the Lords of Salem, and then on what's it called on Thursday, it will be a pre-recorded. Kylie, if you're still in here, please know that Thursday's episode will be pre-recorded. Okay, if you talk to us, it's going to be pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded. Yeah.
Yep. A review of Petit Maman. And then on Tuesday, we are doing a commentary with our wonderful Kylie. We're watching Jack Frost 2. Fucking, I don't know what the hell it's called. Jack Frost 2. So yeah, and then Friday we'll get back to our Andor talk, and Saturday and Sunday we'll figure out what the hell we're gonna talk about because no more,
Yeah,
no more
we'll
Rings of
find out.
Power, no more,
We'll figure
no
it out.
more Dragon.
We'll look for news.
Go back to what we
Something.
would do, right, bro?
What we do before like good shows came on.
Yeah, before we juggle 4 shows in a week.
Hey, we
Yeah.
managed. We
Hey,
managed.
man. It's crazy, Brad. Like 4 shows, 2 movies in a week too. It's crazy. Yeah.
Gotta do what we gotta do. I mean, let's be real here. We used to do like multiple episodes
Oh yeah.
a day
Oh yeah.
back in
So
the day.
we could do it. It's just about spacing it out and Brad watching it on the treadmill.
Yep. Pretty much. It works.
Yeah. So I know that Brad is ready to go to bed because I am ready to go make my lunch for tomorrow. And without further ado, it's been a wonderful time. We will catch you all tomorrow. And of course, Brad, let's go ahead and send them out.
Right, Raul. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all those who joined us in chat, new and old. We appreciate it. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And in this episode, all I gotta say is catch us in 2 years when we review season 2 of House of the Dragon.
6'5", baby. Go Stros.
Young Yoda out. Would you call that a flyby? Because he got his ass clapped.